No problemo.
Okay, we are back live here on our big program here on iHeartRadio, also Skyhawk After Dark. And we have got a great guest with us today. I have been a fan of his for a long time. He is famous. He is infamous. He meets everybody you could possibly think of. And he's an autograph collector. The great Patrick Palmer with us today. And of course, Patrick is the host of the incredible Jizz Talkin'. And he joins us today here via the magic of the old Skip Skype. Yes, the Skype-a-rooney. And I think we're going to be joined by Gigi Dior as well. This is going to be a train wreck. Oh, my God, it's a train wreck.
Sorry, I had technical difficulties. I had to call from my phone.
Hey, that's fine. I had technical difficulties with my Skype camera, so you're not going to be able to see me, but you'll be able to see Patrick, and I'll be able to see you on the video camera that matters over here on the broadcast computer. So, Patrick, I want to start with you. How did you get into this autograph collecting thing?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I've just been our family's just been a collector of stuff. My dad collected old cameras and people collected stuff and just everything, collected everything. And I just had a fascination with it. And then when I got into radio in 1983, and that led to going to concerts and stuff and backstage passes and meet and greets, and then went to in 1993 I went to the country disc jockey seminar in Nashville, and my God, it was a huge lineup of people, and you didn't necessarily get autographs there, but you got them to do liners, which was
yes.
Hey, this is
I'm blah blah blah, and you're watching, yeah.
And yeah. So anyway, I just got a few autographs that way and made friends with them, and I remember the funniest thing. I was in line to meet Billy Ray Cyrus.
Achy breaky heart, baby.
Yeah, Achy breaky had just sold 3 million.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
And so I said, I was in line to meet. I was second in line to meet Billy Ray, and the guy from Polygram Records says, "Hey Pat, there's a couple of new artists we want you to meet." And I said, "No," I said, I'm second in line to meet the hottest thing going right now. I just soon stay in line.
Stay in line.
I'll have a gopher stand in line for you. I said, okay. He says, here's a guy. He's from Oklahoma. He's going to be big. His name, Toby Keith. and so Toby says, hey, this is Toby Keith, and you're listening to Pat Palmer on KTLB-FM. And so that was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
So then he says, now this girl, she's from Canada, and she's going to be the hottest next big thing out of Canada. Her name is Shania Twain.
I knew that's where he was going, Gigi.
So, anyway, then they let me back in Billy Ray's line, and we had a fun time. I actually got to touch Billy Ray's ponytail. It was, they had a bodyguard on that thing for a while. I mean, it was wild.
That is awesome.
That's a hairy guard.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So then I met Dolly, and she was really dressed up, just really fancy and almost the point of being gaudy. And she says, it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. And then it was just an amazing deal. Anyway, so I got hooked on autographs there, and just along the line, and that's what the thing with the radio was. I got out of it in 2000, 22 years ago. And the fun part was going to concerts. Now, up through the mid '90s, you had Randy Travis and some of those, and Garth, of course, going up. Well, then concerts became more popular, and some of the smaller stations like ours kind of got pushed to the side on some stuff. So anyway,
yeah.
I really didn't enjoy the radio anymore. I always say I left radio because I got tired of reading the weather.
That is awesome. Well, we have got two great guests with us today here on our big program, and Patrick Palmer is with us. He is, of course, the host of Jizz Talkin', which is a fantastic show. And
My favorite ever podcast. I love that.
And of course, Jizz Talkin' is a culmination of interviews, podcasts, Zoom videos, autograph signings, custom videos, all associated with the adult entertainment industry. And you can get more information on their supersonic website, jizztalking.com.
And now on Roku.
He's on Roku now too. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just found out how to do that. I'm even working with computers in my day job. I'm not the brightest bulb in the place when it comes to web design and this and that. But I went through a step-by-step tutorial online on how to get my hour-long videos onto Skype, onto Roku. And so there's a few little snags, but if you go to Roku and hit search Jizz Talkin', you'll see the channel. You can subscribe to it, and then you'll see 3 seasons on there. And I'm patiently uploading them and doing that. And then just one day stumbled upon how to put stuff on podcasting things, and so Lily Craven taught me how to do that. So I thought, well, geez, if you can put it on one podcast thing, God, you could put it on one.
Put it on
now I'm on
everybody
17
else.
different podcast arenas.
And then we, of course, have my friend and yours, Gigi Dior, with us. She is fantastic. She is...
There we are.
there we are. I was seeing your ring light there for a second, which is a very impressive ring light. I do like your ring light. But you can join Gigi's OnlyFans at onlyfans.com. My Gigi Dior VIP for all your content needs. And Gigi is fantastic. Patrick, what do you think of Gigi?
I was impressed by her story of how she got in the business and the struggles she went through. And for some adult entertainer to say, my eyeliner's on crooked. Fuck that. Gigi had to go through a lot of shit. And she is one of the hardest working gals out there, and she is my hero.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Well, you're mine right back.
So Gigi, you are going to be at Exotica.
Yep. All of them.
All of them. Even the one in Florida. Even in the one in Florida that I'm not allowed to go to.
Why are you not allowed to go to that?
Because Brittany is allergic to the entire state of Florida.
Oh, well, I'm allergic to a lot of states, so that's cool. I understand. I get it.
She's like, I can't go to Florida.
We will miss you.
But I'm going to try to be in New Jersey this year because Michael Nagy is going to force me to go to New Jersey with him.
Cool.
He wants me to go out there with him and explore abandoned castles and all sorts of things. I'm like,
oh, that's so cool.
I don't need to do that. I need to go to the porn convention. That's why we're there. But Gigi, how have you been holding up? Because I know that you recently had a Twitter issue.
I did. We are growing right back, and we're coming back stronger than ever. So watch out. I have to say from the bottom of my heart, I was overwhelmed with the outpouring of love from my friends and colleagues and supporters and fans and just everybody in this industry that rallied behind me and with me and retweeted and got my new page out there. And really, like, I owe where I'm at today to everybody else in the industry that has helped me. So I actually cried the other night when I saw like just the support of everybody in this industry that just jumped in right, like didn't hesitate. People who I knew I've met and that I have a good rapport with, but I didn't realize that like that we were, I don't even want to say friends, because that's probably not even a correct term, but we're just good, like you're just in good with them. And they were following me and retweeting me and posting it and putting it out there, putting it on Instagram and putting it everywhere. I was just heartwarmed. It was incredible.
That's awesome. So Patrick, you have met a little bit of everybody. What is it that you do at these Exoticas? Because you always have these booths. You always have all these different legends and various people.
I've yet to figure it out. I'm nice to people. And once in a while I'll spring for lunch. That's a lesson in life. Somebody says, "What's your secret?" I said, "I'm nice to people and I'll spring for lunch." But this goes back to in 2018. I was going to go to planning a trip to California, LA, and I thought, I wonder what would happen if I decided to have a pizza party and invite a bunch of porn stars to a pizza party if they'd actually show up. And holy smokes, they did. It was so funny because the funniest one was Christy Canyon was there, and right away she says, "Count me in." And I really wasn't that close to Christy. We'd been at several events together, but not palsy-wowsy, and she said, "Count me in." And so then, anyway, I'd invited Leslie Winston, and is this a program we can use?
Oh yeah,
on?
you can say whatever you want here.
Okay. Anyway, so
yeah, you're good.
Sometimes you check. I don't know.
Yes, thanks for checking, brother. Because my good friend IQ Rizzoli, a lot of times when he's bitching about Joe Biden, he doesn't check. So he we usually got to dump IQ. So go ahead.
So Christy's in the parking lot walking in, and this blonde lady, Leslie Winston's walking in, and not to be dismissive, but Christy sort of says, who are you again? And she says, "Well, I'm Leslie Winston." And have we met before? And she says, "Yeah, I went down on you, and I like to watch." And we shared Tom Byron's dick. It actually had a scene together back in the day, and had forgotten about it.
Wow.
So anyway, Leslie is coming to Exotica. She was kind of not really a last minute, but she always said she wanted to do it, and there just came a certain situation that was going to develop that we didn't know if one of the stars was going to back out or not, and we needed 4 people for the booth to make it work right, and so I invited Leslie, and she's got a friend in Chicago that she's going to stay with, and he even volunteered to pay for her flight. And then the other girl who we kind of thought might flake, she came around, and she's gung-ho, and now we're going to have 5 girls at the booth. Now, this is a booth called Signatures After Dark / Jizz Talking. And he said, "If you line up all the talent, I'll pay for the booth." I thought, man, I got the easy job. And so we're going to have Lily Craven at the booth, Leslie Winston, Gina Carrera, who was a star in early or mid 80s, late 80s, Lynn LeMay from South Dakota. Gigi's going to be Gigi's her buddy, and Seika.
Cool. Will you introduce me to Seika?
Say what?
Will you introduce me to Seika?
I will.
Awesome. I'm dying to meet her. She is
a legend, and I'm actually going down to Kansas City the weekend before. Jiggy, you're going to go to that Planet Con in Kansas City?
I am going to try to be at Planet Comic Con. I think that would be because Jerry Lawler and a bunch of people are going to be there, and I got to go harass Lawler. So
I got the Jerry Lawler Funko Pop. He's got to sign that. So.
Look at that.
But anyway, so I'm gonna, and so when I'm down there, Seika and I are gonna do a private signing, get all the stuff ready so I don't have to haul everything to Exotica. That's, last time I went to Exotica in Chicago, I took Herschel Savage with me. And Herschel says, he says, God, he said, I don't know about splitting a motel or a hotel room. He said, that's kind of spendy. I said, tell you what, I will line up enough shit for you to sign, and I'll make money back on it. You won't, anything over $400 you get to keep. And I lined up about $475 worth of stuff for him to sign. So he put $75 in his pocket when it was all done, plus paid me basically for his room. So, and I had
That's the way to do it, baby.
Yeah. And so, anyway, I'm excited too because let me see. Well, Christie's, I'm holding up pictures because I didn't know if we could do screen.
Oh yeah, we're video and audio, and you can
there's a picture.
You can get our video over there at JiggyJaguar.com, JiggyJagTV.com, and the audio, of course, Skyhawk After Dark, and all over the damn place. And
sure.
So Gigi, you have done some really cool stuff fairly recently.
Yeah.
Tell me and Patrick here a little bit about some of the different things you've been up to.
All right. Well, I just got, it launches tomorrow, but my third cover in 3 months since February. So I have Definition and Angel magazine. So I'm super excited about that. So I've had that. The third one's released this week. So I just got the preview for it this morning. I was super excited about that. My first XXX actual professional shoot, I shot on March 18th, and that released today online. So my first professional shoot is officially on the market. So we are out there now. Whew, that was a big one.
I'm so damn proud of you. I really am.
Thank you. I mean, you were my first ever podcast, and I like everything. Like, you've just been there from the beginning, and you've been such a huge supporter. And Jiggy is right there too. Jiggy, you were my second, and I'm just so honored to be such a part of this and to have you guys right there with me. So thank you for everything that you both have done through this whole journey. So. I'm so excited to see where even this next year. But I just did Lisa Ann 2 weeks ago. That was just released this week. I did SDR on Wednesday. I have I'm doing In Hot Water on Wednesday, and there's one other one. I can't remember the other one, but I have 2 back-to-back on Wednesday. So I'm like it's just been crazy, the busyness. I have a couple photo shoots coming up. I shot with Scott Church for some professional shots. I shot with East Coast celebrities for some professional shots. I'll be at Exotica. I'll be at XBiz. I'll be at all the other Exoticas. And yeah, it's just busy. Oh, I did the Content House. This was huge. So I was invited by Chrissy Mayer and some of the other Compound Media people. We did the first ever Content House in the Poconos this weekend. It was a 48-hour live stream, kind of very Big Brother-esque, if you will. We had kind of like a sofa set up in the upstairs loft with lights, and that's where the stream was. And then we could stream in from everywhere we went. So we had somebody always at the home base to kind of keep the live stream up. But then we went shooting at the gun range. We went roller skating. We went on a brewery tour, and it was 48 hours straight of the public and YouTube following all of our lives. And I made some incredible friends this weekend, and it was just such a cool experience to be a part of. So it was check that out once it's released. I know she's working on editing and everything right now to post this, so that'll be up on YouTube, and I'll definitely share the link on that.
That's awesome. So Patrick, you I was talking with somebody, I don't know, had to be a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to him about you, and I said, all the stuff that you do. It was Lily Craven, but she was just putting you over like nobody's business. How did you end up coming into this thing where you do these autographs and you sell these autographs? This is quite the deal.
As far as adult or just everybody?
Just everybody, because you've got quite the deal.
Yeah. Well, the 17 years in radio helped. meet and greets and stuff like that. I drove Waylon Jennings in a limousine one night at a county fair, and we had to go all the way around this big long track to the stage. And while we got in, I had a picture he needed to sign, and I had a tape recorder that was running. I said, Waylon, I got some liners for you to read and autograph for you to sign. All right. And so anyway, in the car, in the limousine, on the way over, he's, hey, this is Waylon Jennings, and you're listening to another good old boy, Pat Palmer, on KTLB Twin Lakes. And so anyway, I was never scared to approach anybody, because the worst thing they're going to tell you is no. I walk up to Stormy Daniels with $220 in my hand and 10 pictures, and I want a picture with her. And she looks at you like you just farted in church.
Yes.
Okay. But anyway, it's still, I've met some assholes. I have.
Yes.
Kenny Rogers was the biggest asshole in the world to me, but not
the gambler.
I had a picture with him, and I don't really give a shit. And he's dead, and he ain't got to talk back about it. But I mean, just great people. Eddie Rabbit was just great, and just a lot of stars. And even an adult, I was. How I got into this part of it, when I turned 50, my wife says, do you have a bucket list? And I said, yeah, I want to go ice fishing. I've never been ice fishing before. I want to go to a tailgate party. I've never been to a tailgate party before. And I want to go to the porn Oscars. And she says, porn Oscars? Anyway, so then we went to the AVN thing, and I'd written Bill Margold about going to his Legends thing. And so I was sitting there at Buffalo Wild Wings one day eating lunch, and the phone rings. I look down, it's Bill Margold. Hell, he called and he talked for 45 minutes, and we became fast friends. And then he'd call probably once a month, then he'd call about every 2 weeks, and he'd call every week, and then he's calling every day. And it was my wife. It wasn't got to the point of, did Bill call today? No, it was, what did Bill want today? And I talked to Bill 3 times on the day he died, and I was on the line with him, like doing a web show like this, on the phone, and he had a heart attack and died right on the air, and I was on the phone with him.
Fuck.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and so, I mean, he was bitching earlier that day about his phone not working right. So, naturally, I heard, like, the phone make a noise. Well, actually, it was hitting the floor. And, I mean, I tried calling back, called back the next morning. Finally, I reached out to a couple of friends and said, hey, something's wrong. Can't get a hold of Bill. And they kicked in his door and found him dead there right at the desk, doing what he loved. Was talking about his friends and family and the adult industry. And so he lined me up to do so many things. He lined me up. I did radio at Exotica in Denver in 2017. He lined me up for that. He lined me up with being involved in this big project that David Berlino put on in Los Angeles, and he did all that, and then he died. But I'm so glad people honored his wishes and had me come out and do that, because from there I kind of springboarded off on that. He hated. See, I've had this term jizz talking for a lot of years. He just hated that term. He says it should be called the people's porn. And
people's
I
porn.
read about a couple of people, and he says if you call it the people's porn, they're going to assume it's all free, and it's not. And so I said, well, I still like jizz talking, and because hey, we're jizz talking, kind of a play on words. And
that's awesome.
So anyway, that's kind of how I got involved in that. And so during the pandemic, when these stars couldn't go out and record or make videos or do anything with anybody, I thought, we got to get behind these people and help them promote themselves, even if they're doing scenes at home with a cucumber. We got to help these people.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's when I started. Alana Evans was my first guest, and then Kelly Richards, and then Christy Canyon came on, and she. We become such close friends. I spent a couple nights at her house, and she probably calls or texts. Well, she texts about every day. She calls. Maybe we call each other maybe once in a while. But Yeah, so I mean, we're just friends, and and Herschel's been to the house here. We took in all of North Iowa when he was here. That's for sure. So
So,
we went out. Funny story with Herschel.
yes,
Was,
go ahead.
I said, Herschel, I said, you ever seen the movie La Bamba or the Buddy Holly story? He says, yes. I said, Buddy Holly crashed about 35 miles from my house. I said, there's a crash site. We can go out and look at it. So we went out.
There's a crash set. Let's go look at it.
So anyway, we walked out in the corner. I'd never been there. Then we walked down this path about a half mile, and there's a little tribute thing to Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and the pilot. And Herschel takes a picture with it. We get some pictures with him, and he looks at me and he says, it's too bad the pilot couldn't have crashed closer to the road.
Jesus.
But we had a fun time when he was here. Everybody, we walked in the restaurant in town. I mean, people were lined up to have their picture with him, and one girl kind of took her top off a little bit for him. I don't know how really thrilled he was with that because her husband was sitting right there. But
yes, that's fantastic.
We had a fun time.
So Gigi, you have been very busy lately.
I have been.
Tell us about some of the different, besides, some of the porn stuff you've been doing. You mentioned, a couple other things. What do you have? What do you have lined up for Exotica this year?
I'm going to be camming with one evening with the Ashley Daniels before the convention starts. So I'm going to be doing Chatterbait with that. With her. I have a couple of girls, possibly a guy or two lined up for some content shoots while I'm there. I've kind of got to the point where I don't advertise it because, and actually, Pat was saying before, he was like, I'll line up the talent, and you're like, I've got the easy job. I actually think that that's the hardest job because, talent is the most, that's the most delicate part of all of it, is making sure people show up and are on time and are there to do their job. So kudos to you for getting, all those girls there and then over what you're looking for. But and I just a quick side note, all because of you guys, like I have gotten so close with Lynn, and Kelly and I talk every week, if not a couple times a week, and Lynn and I talk at least a couple times a month. So it's just, I didn't expect the friendships in this business as much as I have actually received, and it's really nice at this point in my life to have adult friends that are doing similar things that I'm doing, and we can relate, and we can kind of, I can bounce ideas off and say, like, what do you think about this? And Lynn has been an amazing soundboard for a lot of different things. So thank you guys for that, and Pat, thank you so much for that, because these relationships have been valuable and just incredible to have. So what else do I have coming up? So I have Exotica. I'll be at James Bartolet's booth with him at Planetary Studios. He's just a hoot. God, I cannot say enough about him. He is just... what I love about James is his transparency. You know exactly where you him at any given time. There's bullshit with me.
Yes.
Let's see. What else do I have coming up? Do you hear feedback, or is it just my phone?
I think it's just your phone.
Okay.
I don't have anything on my end, and it's probably just Skype.
Okay, as long as it's good.
No, you're good. You're good. We're just sitting here listening to you, and I'm just staring at your rack on Twitter. So there's all sorts of things going on here. So.
Oh, perfect. No, let's see, what else? As of right now, they have me as a core model for Chatterbait for XBiz in Florida in May. So I'm really excited about that. That's been something I've worked very, very hard to achieve. And I'm hoping that maybe XBiz Cam Awards, I get a nomination. So those should be announced here soon too. So I'm just pushing on, and I hope to shoot again soon. get out to LA, maybe shoot. They flew me for this for my first scene is for hotmilfsfuck.com. They flew me to Arizona and I shot, and what a wonderful, incredible experience that was. It was unlike, you hear those horror stories where, all of the bad things, but my first experience was anything but bad. It was storybook-esque for the porn world anyway. So it was pretty incredible.
That's pretty awesome.
So, yeah, and as far as other stuff coming up, like, I don't know, like, I'm right now I'm super busy, and just kind of plugging away and seeing what comes along and keeping an open mind with it, right?
That's awesome. We've got Gigi Dior with us today. We also have the fantastic Patrick Palmer with us. Patrick, tell us about one of the things I like about you is your sense of style. The Hawaiian shirts, all the shenanigans. Tell us a little bit about you and your style of dress, my friend.
Well, I kind of got that from Bill Margold. You couldn't look at anybody that's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. You can't have a bad day. I've never known anybody who's ever been dressed like Jiggy Jaguar or Pat Palmer ever have a bad day.
There you go.
And see, this is one of the things I'm getting signed because I'm such an autograph hound. I've got to have this signed.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Gigi and you in a shot.
I can't. Oh, there we go. Okay, I saw it. I love that. Yeah. That was my very first. I remember that photo very well. Very well. That was amazing.
Yeah. So, and here's one I've got to get signed. You get weird pictures. And I was hoping that Abella Danger is going to be back because here's, this is what happens when Exotica bites you in the ass.
Look at that. Holy smokes.
And anyway, that's with, and Phoenix Marie, when she autographs stuff, the shit she writes is illegal in at least 7 states.
That is fantastic.
But no, I just enjoy myself there, and I don't take myself or anybody else too seriously, and I'm just there to have a good time. And if people need to sit down and talk with me, I talk with them, and just like we're doing here I'll interview anybody just to have a conversation, and if it helps them, great. If they pass on it, no, that's their loss. But I just last night, as a matter of fact, I went to this autograph show in Des Moines. And kind of had a pissy time there. I really did have a fun time there. I jacked a lot of people around. Anyway, afterwards, I went to a pizza place and met Lolly Tops. And Lolly Tops is a 38 Triple D gal, and she's 4'11" with a 21-inch waist.
Jesus.
And she was the 2021 Miss World Big Bust Award winner. And she says, well, I want to go to Exotica too. And so I think she might be tagging along. I think she might just be there to walk around and kind of see stuff, but she won't necessarily be signing at our booth, but she'll be hanging around it a lot.
I would love to meet her as well. That's awesome. 21-inch waist. I mean, I'm tiny, but that's so tiny.
And she put away some chicken Alfredo last night that she could have been me and eaten it. I mean, she was great. And
that's amazing.
I did an interview with her, and I did post it on my Jizz Talking Twitter page and also on our autograph group page. That was one thing you see on Facebook a lot. Baseball autographs,
yes,
in-person celebrity all these autographs, but there was no adult autograph page. And so I was just getting ready to create one, and this friend of mine, Lee, he created it first, which is pissed. But anyway, he made me an administrator, and he has absolutely nothing to do with it. So I run the damn thing full bore. I did add Charles as an editor, so he can help out a little bit. But then I thought, well, you got to have a backup. And so I created a backup adult entertainment page, and I run that. And then Aaron from Florida helps out on that. So we kind of keep things up. Our biggest thing is having people, they want to sell magazines, they want to sell whatever, and we only allow sales on Saturday and Sunday. And slip in a nipple or something. It's like, come on, God damn it. you got to watch this stuff. I mean, we've been warned so many times. I'm surprised the page hasn't been taken down, but it's one of those things you just got to be careful on, and because it's Facebook. And so anyway, that's and I started the Jizz Talking Twitter page probably last July, because I knew things were taking off on that. I thought, hey, I'll have a Twitter page, and so promoting things on that as well too.
That's awesome. So Gigi, when you got your Twitter taken from you, what was going on that day, and how did you get wind of this?
Oh, all right. So I'll take it through the weekend. So I had a guest in my home Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
We shot content. We streamed live from Chatterbait. Left Sunday on great terms. Actually, that night, got a text message. She said, "Thank you for everything." I said, "No problem. Thank you for coming. Have a great rest of your trip," because she was traveling on. So, I thought nothing of it. Monday morning, I wake up. I'm up around 5:30. So first thing you do, obviously you check your emails. I check all social media. Twitter wouldn't open. I'm like, that's strange. So I check Instagram, that opened. Now, my house is Wi-Fi only. We have no cellular reception here whatsoever. So I'm solely reliant on Wi-Fi. So sometimes if it's storming or windy or whatever, my Wi-Fi can be wanky, right? So I was like, all right, maybe my internet's down. So I put my phone down. I actually closed my eyes for a little while longer. I get up about an hour later. So it's like now 6:30. I'm making breakfast. I'm still trying to open Twitter, and it says not available, not available. You cannot retrieve your tweets right now. And I'm like, this is really strange. So I asked somebody else. I'm like, I'm like, hey, can you open Twitter? And they're like, no. So that's when I checked my email, and I realized that I had been, at that point, it wasn't fully suspended. It was just, what was the word they used? Not paused. Anyway, it's not important. So I had been reported for, so I checked into the email. I had been reported for posting a unauthorized photograph of a person.
What?
Turns out that the person that had been in my home that weekend and we had shot content with didn't like a photo that I posted on Twitter. And instead of texting me and asking me to take said photo or photographs down, just took my Twitter down.
Holy shit, Patrick. What do you think about this?
So here's my underline. I know everyone's like, oh, I have a fully signed model release. I have a 2257, and I have pictures of both IDs. So Twitter didn't want to hear anything about it. I'm still appealing it because I'm not going to give up yet. I'm on my 4th appeal with them right now. The reasons that they gave were complete BS. So I'm not rolling over. We're definitely still fighting it. But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Wow. Patrick, yeah. What do you think about all this, brother?
Well, fighting it is tricky now. In our town, I have an account that's got a blue check mark next because I'm on the city council here in my town. And so I've used that with Facebook a lot to have them unhijack business pages in our town that have been hijacked because somebody didn't have two-factor authentication or something like that. But this is kind of a bullshit deal. And you sometimes it's sad when you got to watch your back that much after you've had a friend in your home and you've shot content when all it would have taken was, hey Gigi, that picture doesn't show me in the best light. Can you take it down? And you would have.
1,000%. And this happened between 9 p.m. and 5:30 a.m. It was literally a window this large. And that's what blows my mind. We're all adults here and we're all on the same side. Why not just reach out to me and say, you know what? I had a change of heart. I really don't want this photo posted. I wouldn't have batted an eye. It would have been down instantaneously. But I wasn't allowed that opportunity. So it was unfortunate. Definitely unfortunate.
Wow.
So, but I will.
What's your relationship with this person now?
It is absolutely severed.
I would think.
I've blocked this person on all social medias for future. I mean, I don't want it taking down other social, like I'm just rebuilding my Instagram because that went down in October. So I'm rebuilding that at this point, and I'm over now where I was in October, but with great amounts of work. So I've blocked this person from all social medias, TikTok, Twitter, the new Twitter, Instagram, everything. And it's just I value the friends that treat me well even more now than I ever did, because it's just amazing that we get enough crap from the outside world. We get enough bias and slams from the outside. We don't need it from within. And that's part of what I love about both of your shows so much, is we spend so much time supporting one another and helping and building each other up, that it's just not necessary to tear each other down. And when all it would have taken was just a request. So it's unfortunate, but we will move on, right? We'll rebuild, and we'll be bigger and better than ever. So
that's awesome. Well, so Patrick, one of the things that I run into, and we all know where this conversation is headed. Gigi has had her issue, and it's with somebody who she's shot content with. Have you ever had issues with press people and PR people, whether it's radio, whether it's been radio or your show or any of your stuff? Because I run into that constantly.
There were two things. One was a PR person that has really just kind of cock-blocked me on interviewing anybody out of her organization. And it seems like everybody is with this company. And I don't know, I probably did some stuff wrong. I didn't get back to them right away when I thought I was. I thought everything was in black and white as far as interviewing a person. And I said, hey, where's she at? Well, you never got back to me. Well, yeah, I kind of did. And then I sent her screenshots of her agreeing to it. But anyway, and then locally, I got appointed for the city council a while back, and there's always been an underlying deal where Pat knows his California friends. We all know who his California friends are. And, so up at and I really never shared this, but I will. Up at the city council chambers, I'm ready for this because we have meetings and people come in from the public. And, there's a couple of people that always show up and they look down their long, crooked noses at me and like they've really got something on me. They really got something on me. So I'm waiting in my desk drawer next to where I sit for the city council. I've got a packet of photos. And when they bring it, eventually, if they ever bring it up, that they're offended by what I post on my page, whether it's a breast or whatever, I will pull out this package of photos and show them pictures of the homeless. I'll show them pictures of child abuse and spousal abuse and animal neglect and neglect of our veterans, and say, a boob offends you, this is what offends me. And I got this, and I know you've probably seen the movie, The People versus Larry Flint.
Yes.
Remember when he has that seminar that he pays for this huge auditorium? He says, this to me is offensive. And he runs through that Holocaust photos and all that. I borrowed that from Larry Flint. Thank God for Larry Flint. God rest his soul. But if they want to come at me with that, most 9 times out of 10, the biggest thing I hear is, what did your wife say? I said, oh, she was with her too. See, on my phone? That
is fantastic.
He was more impressed with Mary Carey's shaved pussy and how close the She says, she must have that wax. There was more hair on an orange than you'd find on Mary Carey's puss. I mean, it was just...
That is awesome.
A
That
work
is
of art.
fantastic. We have got a great show here today. We've got Patrick Palmer from Jizz talking, and we've got the fantastic Gigi Dior. Gigi, by the way, that hat
You like it?
is amazing.
I was tired, so I said, hat. It is.
That's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
Well, Patrick, I had applied for a job to do a morning show in Spencer, Iowa, of all places.
The good Spencer radio station or the bad Spencer radio station?
Well, it was the one that's run by a guy by the name of Dave, because I was told about it. It was Dave's world, and we're just living in it.
Oh.
And what was funny was when I came in, let me see if I can find the, because I know you're going to know this whole thing, but you're going to love this, Gigi. When I went in and did the interview with these people, they made a comment to me about how, well, they checked your Twitter. And I said, okay. And they go, are you in the porn industry? And I'm like, no, I don't make porn movies. I just interview porn stars. They were just convinced I was in the porn industry. First of all, Gigi, I would not be taken seriously in the porn industry.
You'd be taken more serious. I mean, you did very well in Chicago. Very well in Chicago.
So, but the radio station I interviewed for, Patrick, is KICD. Do you know who?
Oh, wow. That would have been... I can't remember the other one.
There's KICD. There is... let me see. It's the Spencer Radio Group, as they call themselves.
I think KICD is the bigger of the two. We hired a news director from the shittier of the two.
They have Big Country 107.7, 104.9, which is a thing called More, and then they have something called 98.3, which is an oldie station, and then they have the KICD thing. And what's funny about this is that when I went to Iowa, have you ever been to Iowa, Gigi?
I have.
Oh, really?
It's one of those obscure states that you're like, really? You've been there? Like, you kind of forget it's part of the country, don't you? It's tucked right in there. No,
What?
yes, I have been there.
You've been to Iowa. Well, when I got to Spencer, I decided, well, I'm probably going to take this job, blah, blah, blah. So I went by the chamber, and I met the guy who previously had the job that I was applying for. And he said, well, if they let you talk on that talk radio station, I will be shocked. Because I talked on that radio station about 5 years ago, and when I retired and came here to work at the chamber, I've never heard anybody do talk since then. And look who won the pony. When I went for the interview, they told me that, well, they might be able to let me talk, but they mainly wanted me to throw to the Dave Osgood Minute, come back and do the weather and the time, and then throw to something else, throw to Mike Huckabee Bennett. And I said, okay, so you're going to pay me $40,000 a year to move to Spencer, Iowa, to do something that you could find someone at the local community college to do and pay them less than this. It was the strangest thing in the world. But the fact that
Did they say yes?
Well,
I get on $40,000 in Iowa.
I didn't take the gig, and I probably should have. But that is my oh my God, they think I'm doing porn in Iowa story. So when you went to Iowa, Gigi, where the hell were you going? What the hell were you doing?
It was when I was way younger. It was a baseball tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't recently, but yes, it was.
Okay.
I was younger, but
Okay.
I've seen a lot of the Midwest.
So you haven't filmed for Private Society yet?
No.
Okay, yeah, they're in Iowa, down in Fairfield.
Oh, okay, cool.
Home of the
Really?
Maharishi
I did not
College.
know this.
Yeah, and we call it home of the floaters. But anyway, Maharishi. Yeah. Anyway, so I met. That's how I met Coral and Jewel. Was she was
Well,
going to be there, and so anyway, I lined up $650 worth of private signing and private video time for her, and then took her out to lunch, and then we went to the. I took a picture with her and then I took that to Walgreens, had it printed, had her sign it right there too, and then I met Rusty Nails came to Iowa, and he
Rusty
filmed at
Nails.
Private Society, and so I drove down there and had lunch with Rusty Nails too.
that name, that's amazing. I love some of the names these people come up with. It's amazing.
Well, if
Rusty
you ever do
Nails.
film with Private Society, it's well, unfortunately, it's like Spencer. It's about 3 hours from where I live.
Okay.
We're right off of I-35 going up and down, I-35. So right off there where I live.
Well, if I do, I will definitely. I'll put in the extra time, and I'll make sure I come to you, or we meet halfway for lunch.
I'll drive down there, no big deal. So
Okay, that sounds like a deal.
That's
Because
awesome.
I'm down to clown.
Oh, I love her. She was such a doll.
She was. Now,
Clown, I should say.
Jiggy, when you talk to Eden Blair, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, about Eden. She's got her own video on YouTube about building a schoolie.
Really?
Her and her husband remodeled a school bus that they're going to live in, and she's got a whole series
Wow.
on her YouTube channel is called Whiskey Wilderness, and my wife and I watch that every time they put out a new episode. I'll probably talk to her more about Whiskey Wilderness than her porn career when I'm there.
That's
Good
so
Lord.
cool.
So
I love Eden. Eden's a sweetheart too.
So Gigi, what is your what is a typical thing at Exotica look like for you? Like, for instance, Thursday. Do you get in on Thursday? And
Yeah, I'll come in late Thursday. I'll probably get settled in. I'll probably go to the launch party Thursday night. I think Thursday night or Friday morning is when I'm going to stream with Ashley. And then kind of relax Friday morning a little bit if I'm not shooting. Hopefully I'll get some content in Friday morning before Exotica starts, because generally shooting afterwards gets late. Everybody gets tired after the show. And then be at the show all day. I know James has me like probably on shifts, but if it's like Washington DC, I'll probably be there most of the time, because it's always good to have people at the table. So, but I like to take a break and walk around, grab some food, meet other people, touch base with other people that I've met, and obviously see all of you guys. And then go out to the parties Friday night, and Saturday kind of repeat. So shoot content in the morning and go from there. So yeah, good times.
that's awesome. So Patrick, what is your typical Exotica experience like? What do you do?
This year it's going to be keeping 5 women from tearing each other's hair out. Because we got
Jesus.
5 women at our booth, and I think the booth is built for 4. But I think that a few of them are going to take some shifts. I know that Lynn is going to sit there until she grows roots out of her ass, because she wants to make all the money she can, sign all the photos she can, meet all the fans she can.
She is so excited. Every time I talk to her, she cannot wait to go. Like, she is like every day. Every time I talk to her, she's like, only a couple more weeks.
Yeah, this year is our banner it says, because we've got 5 blondes in the booth, and the banner says, from dirty to platinum, the hottest blondes are here.
That's amazing.
Jesus.
I can't believe after as long as I've talked to Lynn, and like I met her on your show and all of that, I can't believe Chicago's going to be the first time I actually meet her in person. Like, I already feel like we've known each other forever, but it's actually going to be the first physical time that we meet up. So I'm super excited.
And next year, depending on how this year goes, I think he's going to go to New Jersey. I'm not, but anyway, next year in Chicago, depending on how this year goes, he's going to get a 10 by 30 booth and put 8 women in it. And we may have more of a shifty thing where people are in shifts, but it's for the fans. I hate to have the fans miss out on a certain performer, but I think next year the crux is going to be big boobs, and so Lynn will be back for sure. If Lily wants to come back, that'd be great. We're looking at Lolly Tops, and then we're going to try and reach out to Gianna Michaels, Letha Weapons, the gal that did the big gangbang. She lives in Kansas or in Kentucky, and so I think we're gonna line up a big boob
Jasmine St. Clair, is that who you're thinking of?
Lisa Sparks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because anytime anybody says big gangbang, I immediately think of Jasmine St. Clair.
I think of Ray Ray. And Amy Quinn.
That's the first name that comes to my mind.
Yeah, and a pizza party, and a guy with a pizza. But
a guy with a pizza.
Mr. Marcus is going to be there. Mr. Marcus is a friend and an older time legend as well. I mean, he's going to be there. So I'm really looking forward to meeting Mr. Marcus. I don't know if he's going to have a booth by himself or he's just going to kind of float around or whatever, but I can't wait to meet Mr. Marcus.
It'll be
That'd
quite
be awesome.
It'll be quite the deal. Well, so Gigi, what exactly do you have coming up besides the Exotica stuff?
We have Exoticas. I have this week. I have a couple more podcasts. I have some photo shoots lined up. I'm going to be shooting this year, coming up with Alex Cole. I have in May, Dumais is actually coming to me for a weekend, and we have a whole lineup of Dumais and Gigi Part 2. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Let me think.
If you could put a good word in for me with her, I would love to have her. Oh,
I
man.
will definitely try one more time. I'll try again. You know I'm going to keep trying, Pat.
It's only publicity.
What's that, Pat? You cut out. I'm sorry.
It's only publicity.
It's only publicity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's Gigi and Dumais Part 2.
There you go.
No, I'm super excited to shoot with her again. Like, she taught me so much the first time around, and I mean, that woman is a true professional in every sense of the word. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I have a couple of people I've reached out to shoot with over the next couple of months. I'm gonna shoot with intention and purpose this year, and really see what we can come up with. So I'm super excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, as we wrap up with everybody, let's start with Patrick. How do we get in touch with you online and everything that you're doing, man?
Anybody can just write me at patrick@jizztalking.com. You can hit me up at jizztalking on Twitter. We have a Zoom show every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central. Kind of the kicker on that is you have to be a member of our Facebook group to get the link. I mean, we've had Herschel put it out on his Facebook or his Twitter one time. The whole time I was sitting there getting people to, hide their cameras from putting their wieners on the thing, and so I said, no more of that.
Oh my God!
Invitation only. So yeah, I don't mind if they join our group to get the link, and we go from there. So
that's awesome. I bet that was a nightmare though, as far as production.
One guy slipped on, and I can't remember the girl who was the interview we were doing, but he just went off and he kept screaming, and finally we had a big crowd. We had like 30 people. I was like going between two screens looking at where he was, and finally I got him out of there. But when I edited the video, I just edited that whole little part out of him screaming and just kind of made it like nothing ever happened. And I wouldn't give, as Paul Harvey would say, he would want me to mention his name, and we didn't. So
that's great. Well, Gigi, how do we get in touch with you and buy your
So
content,
actually,
all sorts of stuff.
Pat, I created a Facebook page just for you because I was like, I can't get to him otherwise. So you're the only reason that I have a Facebook. I don't have a photo on it. I don't have a post on it. But I was like, I have to join Facebook just so that I can be a part of your group. So everybody can thank Pat for that. All right.
Tonight's
So to
guest
recap,
is Sin Sage, by the way.
what's that?
Tonight's guest is Sin Sage, by the way. In about
Sin
an hour and a half.
Sage in an hour and a half, baby.
I will jump on and say hello. So you can find me on Twitter at my Gigi Dior VIP, OnlyFans my Gigi Dior VIP. My Instagram is Gigi Dior SFW, and then on ChatterBait Monday through Friday at my Gigi Dior.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'll let you guys go for this week. This has been a fun show. I'm glad we were, I had some studio guests, and they ran over. And originally it was supposed to be just Patrick by himself and then Gigi by herself. But this has actually been fun, just you two. So this has turned out to be pretty fantastic. So.
And Jiggy, we turn the tables on you on April 10th when you're on our show. So
yes, I don't know what in the world is going to happen, but anytime that I get a chance to talk about me, I am there. Because as Brittany likes to say, I am a princess. I've got an ego the size of the Grand Canyon. I would definitely love to be there, and I'm looking forward to this. And
I might even do my Jiggy Jag impression of you.
Oh my God! There are more people over the last couple of years that are starting to do impressions of me, and I just love it. I just think it's great.
Hey everybody, this is Jiggy Jaguar, Jiggy Jag TV. We're at a porn convention.
Yes.
Yes.
And you got to wear a Christmas suit while you do it there.
Yeah. A Santa Claus hat. I will pull out in November or for the show.
You know what is great is I was thinking yesterday. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to wear my giant Mexican sombrero to the floor of Exotica this year. It's basically just one more thing for Brittany to have to pack in the car.
No more Santa suits.
Oh, I'll wear the Santa suits. I'll wear the Santa suits, the Mexican sombrero, or as I call it, the Mexican hat, because I have to be offensive. And then I have these light-up LED sunglasses that Big Will owns a pair of, and he wears them every once in a while, so I decided I had to buy a pair, and they're going to debut at Exotica, so it'll be all sorts of fun.
Love it. Perfect.
So Gigi, thanks for doing this. I know that you're busier than a gerbil in a batting cage. So thank you for doing this.
I will make sure I have time for both of you always. And, so you guys are my number one and number one. So thank you guys both so much for all of your support.
And of course, Patrick, you are the man, sir. I love looking at your exploits. What is this? Is that a Ron Jeremy signed dollar bill?
Yeah. So I bring it back to the table, and Herschel says, "Oh, the rapist signed your money, huh?"
Oh my God! Well, that's where we gotta leave it. Gigi, thanks for doing this. Patrick, thanks for doing this, and I will see you in a week or so. Patrick, thank you, sir.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye, Pat. Thank you, Jiggy.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
That was fun. And that was our big broadcast. We want to thank you for joining us this week.